Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's actually going to be for Smite. I've been going pretty hard on Smite. It's been a lot of fun. With the new avatar skins coming out from the Battle Pass, I wanted to kind of go over Skadi. This is one of my favorite hunters to play. She's a ton of fun. If you're curious what the Korra skin looks like, here it is. It's a pretty cool skin. If you like Legend of Korra, I definitely suggest playing some Skadi, at least giving it a shot. Um, but that being said, Skadi has a ton of other skins that are really cool. I have this skin. It's called the Dragonkin Skadi. But I am doing this video mostly because this skin just came out. So let's go ahead and get on to the build. So I mostly play arena. So this is going to be more of an arena build, but it could work in other game types as well. So I start with Hunter's Blessing and a Morning Star. I get at least one of each potion. You don't really need to get more in arena, but it does help to have them. You could probably, I believe you can get two of each. So it's definitely worth at least getting one though. But that's what I start with. Moving on, the build itself is gonna be Transcendence, Ninja Tabi, and those are probably the most important things to grab. Transcendence I get all the time. Like I never switch this item. So plus 35 physical power, plus 300 mana, plus 10 MP5. Passive, you permanently gain 15 mana per stack and receive 5 stacks for a god kill, and 1 stack for a minion kill. Max of 50 stacks. 3% of your mana is converted to physical power. At 50 stacks, this item evolves, gaining 10% cooldown reduction. Transcendence is really good on Skadi. It's actually really good on a lot of characters, but either way, it is the first item I build every time I play Skadi. And then next, these are the boots. So I use Ninja Tabi, um, 20 physical power, 100 mana, 25% attack speed, and 18% movement speed. Um, I like Ninja Tabi actually on most of the things I play. I tend to play hunters and assassins mostly. Um, but the physical power is 20 less than the warrior Tabi, but you get 100 mana and 25% attack speed as well. So for Skadi, Ninja Tabi is the way to go. Um, you could use Warrior Tabi, but I don't think it's as effective. So I would definitely go with Ninja Tabi. If you find success with a different pair of boots, let me know. But Ninja Tabi is definitely the way to go. Next, I go with the Executioner. This one can actually be traded in and out. So the Executioner is plus 35 physical power, plus 25% attack speed. The passive is basic attacks against an enemy reduce your target's physical protection by 7% for 3 seconds, max of 3 stacks. That is a great ability, making the Executioner a great item. You could take Aussie instead, plus 20 physical power, plus 20% physical lifesteal, plus 25% attack speed, plus 15 physical protection. Passive, if you drop below 35% health, you gain an additional 30% physical lifesteal for 5 seconds. Can only occur once every 15 seconds. So, Aussie is more of a survival thing rather than the Executioner's full-on damage. But you would take Aussie in the situation of, you're just having a really hard time staying alive. Even if you were to grab, like, say, Bloodforge. Um, which actually, Bloodforge, fantastic item. You should definitely grab it. In fact, I actually usually grab it instead of King's Ace. I haven't changed the setup in the God Builder in a while, but Aussie is really good. I tend to go for Executioner more so because there's usually at least one tank, and Executioner kind of makes it so that that tank isn't just mitigating all of your damage. So if you're feeling like you need the lifesteal, grab Aussie. It's still a great item, and it's actually a really good item, and it's meant for survival. But Executioner is meant for damage, especially against like tanks. So use your judgment. Either of those work. Keen Stace is also a good one. 40 physical power, 20% attack speed. On basic attack hits, deal physical damage equal to 3% of the target's maximum health. If the target has over 2,000 health, the bonus damage scales up. This effect reaches a maximum of 5% of the target's maximum health at 2750 health. Keen Stace is a tank killer. So if you're going against a lot of tanks, I would definitely try to fit Keen Stace and Executioner in your build. So maybe fit Keen Stace after you build some crit, which I always build Deathbringer. Deathbringer is just really good. This item is just my go-to on most things. Plus 40 physical power, plus 25% critical strike chance. Passive is critical strike bonus damage dealt is increased by 30%. So Deathbringer is really good. It could be traded out, of course. You don't need Deathbringer. It's just something fun. I personally love to see a crit happen because you have the blood spattered numbers and it feels like you did a lot. So you don't need Deathbringer, but it's a fun item and it's still really good. So you could switch Deathbringer out for Keen Stace if you're going against a lot of tanks. Or if you wanted to keep Deathbringer, you could actually swap out Odysseus Bow. I like this item. It's really good. So 40% attack speed. Every fourth basic attack triggers a chain lightning, damaging the target and up to 4 nearby enemies for 15 damage, plus 60% of your total basic attack power. This item is really good, but it is probably one of the main items that you could switch out. So basically, you want to switch out either Odysseus Bow or Deathbringer, preferably not both, for either Keen Stace or maybe Titan's Bane or Aussie. Those three are kind of the ones that you would switch one of these two out for. So make your pick. Titan's Bane is also really good. Plus 40 physical power, plus 20% physical protection. Your first ability cast gains 20% physical penetration. This can only occur once every 10 seconds. So again, it's a tank killer. I mean, if you're going against a lot of tanks, so say warriors and guardians, if you're going against a lot of those, and I'd say a lot is between 3 and 4, even 2, you could build maybe 2 tank killer items. But if you have 3, if you're up against 3 tanks, I would definitely try to fit Titan's Bane, Keen Stace, and Executioner in your build, taking out Deathbringer and Odysseus Bow. It's just going to help you a lot more in the long run. The tanks are going to get too tanky for most of the group, so therefore you're kind of there to get rid of the tank. But that being said, you still need lifesteal, you still need attack speed, you still need physical power. So we're going to move on to Bloodforge. This item is fantastic. Plus 75 physical power, plus 15% physical lifesteal. Killing an enemy god forges a shield from their blood with health equal to 200 plus 10 per player level for 20 seconds. While the blood shield is active, you gain plus 10% movement speed. Build this. You don't get the option. Build Bloodforge. Like, seriously, it is just too good of an item. I build it on all of my assassins and all of my hunters. It is essentially a required item. So I'm going to uncheck everything here and kind of go through what I would build in most situations. Oops. So I start with the Hunter's Blessing, the Morning Star, and the potions. But I build the Transcendence first, then the Ninja Tabi, then I usually get the Executioner, and then a Bloodforge. After the Bloodforge, I tend to get Deathbringer, and then Odysseus Bow. And that's how I like to end it. So that's my typical order to build, that's my typical build, but if you wanted to, if you were going against tanks, you'd take off Deathbringer, you'd take off Odysseus Bow, you'd put in King's Stace and Titan's Bane. So that will be your tank killer build. And the Deathbringer Odysseus Bow is your typical build. So the relics, these are up to you. I like Heavenly Wings, but I've been building Purification Beads and Meditation Cloak a lot lately. Aegis Amulet is fantastic as well. And I know for most gods, Purification Beads and Aegis Amulet are the go-to. So keep that in mind. If you like those, use them. If you don't, use something else. Relics, I feel, are a preference, but it's up to you. So let's move on to the abilities. So Piercing Cold is going to be your first tick. Then you're going to have Permafrost as your second, Rune of the Hunt third, and then you'll go back to Piercing Cold, your ultimate, which is Winter's Grasp, Piercing Cold, Permafrost, Piercing Cold, Permafrost, 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 and then Rune of the Hunt, Rune of the Hunt, Rune of the Hunt, Rune of the Hunt, and then the rest of your ultimate. So if you would rather, you could kind of just weave your ultimate in there instead of just letting it, like, waiting until the end to max it. But this is how I've been building the abilities, and it works really well for me. So it's up to you. Like I said, it's, if you feel you need the ultimate a little bit earlier, go ahead and be grabbing it. But make sure your order of abilities is going to be your 1, your 3, your 2. Those are your main abilities. You need to max those in that order, but you can weave your ultimate throughout. So up to you. I like it this way. It seems to work really well. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. I do a video every Thursday and every Sunday. Sunday is for Warframe. Thursday kind of just random videos for random games. So if there's something you're looking to get some information on, let me know in the comments below, and I'll look into it and try to get some guides out for it. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.